Initiating startup sequence.
Hi, I'm Tool Dude Tony. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of How to Fix Shit 101. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to change out your front brakes and rotors on your car. Today's car that we're going to test this on is a 2003 Isuzu Rodeo. Brakes are not bad, but we're going to do a little upgrade while we're at it. Here's how you do it.
First, jack up the car. You want to do both sides. Use jack stands for your own safety. Remove all the lug nuts from the wheel. Now, remove the wheel. Set aside. Now turn the whole brake and wheel and hub assembly so that you can get to the bolts easily. Remove the bolts on the caliper assembly. You'll probably need 2 wrenches. Save all the bolts. You're going to need these later. Now remove the caliper assembly itself. Set it aside. Be gentle with this. You definitely don't want to kink the hose. Now we need to push the pistons in the caliper assembly back so that the new pads will fit in easily. Use a metal bar of some type if you have it, and a clamp to push it back. Move the assembly out of the way. Again, don't kink that hose. Now remove the brake pads. They should just slip out. Inspect them as you remove it. There should be a wear clip on that back pad. Leave it on. You'll want to see where it goes back on later. Then remove the bolts on the caliper bracket itself. Save those bolts. You'll need them later too. Now remove the bracket assembly. Set it aside. You'll need to reuse that. Normally the brakes are the rotors are a little bit tough to get off. Spray it with some liquid wrench or some sort of penetration oil. Let it soak for a while. Tap near the center of the rotor to kind of release it. Pull it off. Now slip the new rotor on. Place the caliper bracket back in place and install the bolts. First, finger tighten them. Then tighten with a wrench. Follow the manufacturer's specifications to torque the bolts to the proper specifications. Install that wear clip back on the brake pads. Slip the brake pads back into the caliper bracket. They should just slip right in. Now, install the caliper assembly itself. Ensure that brake line is not twisted. Start by finger tightening the bolts, and then use wrenches to tighten them securely. And as with the other bolts, make sure they're tightened to the manufacturer's specifications using a torque wrench. Manually move the whole assembly. You want to make sure that nothing is binding. Now reinstall the wheel. Put it back on the lug nuts. Start the lug nuts by hand. Then use a wrench to tighten them. We need to make sure that the brakes are ready to go. We need to pump them up to make sure that that cylinder is tight against the brake pads. Start the car and pump slowly until the pressure is regained. The pedal needs to feel normal before you drive it. Now remove the jack stands and lower the car. With the car on the ground, fully tighten the lug nuts. Then install the hubcap if you have one.
Well, and that's it. That's how you change your brakes and your rotors on a 2003 Isuzu Rodeo. Same thing on pretty much every car out there. Now, remember, if you're not fixing it yourself, you're paying somebody else to fix it. Now get out there and go fix something!